Hello and welcome to Icon Educate. Now let's go ahead and look at your course screen. So here we are in your subject science, for example, and you just click on whatever course you want to go into, and your screen will look something like this. You'll have the course name, Manage Your Students, View Gradebook, and a Modules and Content Vault tab, the actual modules or chapters you're teaching here, and then the content for each chapter or module. Now, if you would like to view this in full screen, you just simply click on the purple arrow or click on it again to bring back up the modules. So let's look at the first thing. The first thing is Manage Students up here in the upper left. And that just allows you to look at your classes and to look at the students within those classes. So you have Class 1 and Class 2. And it basically shows you who's enrolled in the class. Now at the bottom, you'll see there's actually a quick setting if you want to blank screens for a specific amount of time, let's say during an activity. Now, this is only for those teachers who have students using devices in the classroom. You can actually blank it for a specific amount of time. Not really important if you're not using the actual devices in the classroom. Now when you look at here, we also have under Manage Students, View Gradebook, and that'll be spoken about later. That's basically where you do all your grading and set up your customized grade books for this course. Over here you have Module and Lesson tabs, and you also have a Content Vault tab. The Content Vault tab is where you can put documents, PowerPoints, PDFs, etc., or even images, anything that you use multiple times throughout a course. If you want to save that so you can quickly access it and drop it into an interactive whiteboard or an activity, you put it here and you can use it wherever you want. Going back to the modules and lessons, you can navigate through your different modules here. And then when you open up a specific module, for example, this is Life's Classification Structure, you'll have the plan. You'll have the various lessons within that chapter or module. For example, this is 7.1, Classifying Living Things, and 7.2, Cells. And under that, you'll have home activities, classes, and then more home activities. You can see I organize these to where I have home activities pre-class, then the class activities or in-class activities, and then I have after class or post-class activities that they do at home. Now the other thing that you'll see here is you can add or personalize your lessons to add whatever it is that you want. You can add more in-class activities by simply clicking on this, and it will give you the different reading, rich media, or assessment. Or you can add a new collaborative whiteboard or interactive whiteboard. In addition, if there's any of these items you actually want to look at, let's say you're looking at cell organelles and you're wondering what is that, you simply click on it and it'll give you a preview of what it is. When you're done looking at it, you just simply click Done at the bottom of the page and it will take you back. The same thing if you want to look at documents or anything else. Now the final thing up at the top is you have View Objectives and Resources. Now View Objectives and Resources, basically when you click on this, it will give you the learning objectives and any teacher resources that have been uploaded they want you to share. So if it's a PDF worksheet, you just click on it, click on the eye, and it will open up right there, and then you can download it onto your device or your PC. Click on the X to close it. And let's say it's this one I happen to know is a Word document. I click on the eye for that one, and it will open up immediately, download onto your device for you to actually access and start to manipulate as you want it. Click on the X to close that. Then we view that, and let's roll down here. To the right of this, you have the three dots. And when you click on the three dots, these are basically quick menus. You can quickly add a home activity, quickly add another class. You can reorder these items. You can delete one of the items, or you can edit it. Let's say you got the name wrong. So for example, I can click Edit. I can pick any one of the items, click on the pencil, and go ahead and change the name. If I decide, no, I don't want to change it, you save it with the check or cancel it with the X. When you're done, you just click I'm done editing. Same thing for reordering. You click on the reorder. You'll see it has these little four-star arrows. You click, hold, drag, and move. Let go, and it will reorder. Or you can bring it back. When you're done reordering, let's say if I want to take this in-class activity and say, no, I want that to be a home activity, I just drag it down here, let it go, and it changes it to a home activity. If I change my mind, I bring it back up into the class, let it go, and it changes it into an in-class activity. When you're done, you simply click I'm done. If you want to add more classes or anything else, you simply go to, for example, 7.1, click here and say, I want another class. You can see I have one class here, but let's say I'm going to teach this over multiple classes. I can click Add Another Class, and it will add it right there. And then I can just stop. So really it's up to you on how much you want to personalize this. You also have the Add Class button right here that will add the class. So it really depends on whether you want to use these. This is more for editing, reordering, or deleting items. This is more for creating activities. All right, also to the right of this, you see this big purple bar. This right here, basically, when you're done setting up all your activities, you click on here when you want to start delivering them. And what it'll do is it will show your classes, and then it will start showing whether you want to share something, or in the case of an interactive whiteboard, prepare or start it. Now, prepare for an interactive whiteboard means if you want to edit the whiteboard and you don't want it broadcast to students. There's nothing worse than preparing a whiteboard and the students are watching you as you do it. So preparing is basically opening up the whiteboard, but it doesn't send out a signal. Whereas start will send out a signal to every student telling them join now. This is an active class. The share buttons are for any activity. You simply click on the share and it'll allow you to click on the date you want to make this available and the time, and the date you want to make it due and the time. And then you just click OK, and it will send out a notification to all your students that you've assigned this. Now at the very bottom is Student Analytics. Student Analytics is basically where you click on this and it will bring up a report and kind of give you a quick preview of everything that you've done as far as how it's going with what you've shared, what you've assigned. You can see if you've assigned it, it will actually turn green and it will tell you how many students have completed it. So this is kind of a quick overview of where you're at and what you've done. And it's also a great thing to print and share with your school if they want an update. Now when you want to close this screen, you'll see the X in the upper right hand corner. You simply close it and it takes you right back. Now when looking at assignments, for example this assignment down here that I had already assigned, you'll see that it has how many have completed it, and this one actually says no due date, because in my classes they know if I put no due date it's something I'd like them to look at, but it's not necessarily an assignment that's due. But let's say that later on I decide, you know what, I do want to give this a due date. I simply click here and it will come back up and tell me when I made this available, and I can actually set a due date. So I can actually edit it. But at this point I'm going to leave it as no due date. Above that you'll see it says 1 completed with a little green status bar as to how many have completed it. When you click on that, it will give you a report for that assignment to show you what students have completed it, who has not started it, and for those students who have completed it, when did they complete it, how many times did they view the video, and when did they last view it. And of course you can export this in Excel. Now, this kind of report is different depending on what the activity is. For example, a quiz, it would actually give you their scores. When you're done viewing this, you simply click in the upper right, the little X, and it takes you back to the screen. Now, the last tool, which is very important for planning, is when your head teacher at your school says they want a plan. Or maybe you want to include this in the syllabus or even make it an attachment on a buzz announcement to let people know what's going to be done. You simply click on this at the very top, Export Plan, and it will generate and immediately download a plan onto your device. So again, I really like to use this to actually show people what we're going to be doing in the class or to include it on my syllabus. So you can see it's a nice little Word document that you can always edit that kind of gives all the information for that topic as far as classes, home activities, and different lessons within that module or chapter. Again, a great thing to share with people. And that is all the features for a course, and if you look at future videos, you'll see how to actually prepare these various activities. So thank you very much.